Hello and welcome to Movie Shorts. I'm Andy Mack and this is episode 5. Be sure to check out my previous episodes and thank you so much for your support in streaming or following this podcast. Movie Shorts is designed to review films in under 10 minutes without giving too much away. In today's episode, I will be reviewing The Amateur. So let's get straight to it. The Amateur is a spy/thriller/action movie. It is a 12A certificate film running 2 hours, 3 minutes in length. It stars Rami Malek, Lawrence Fishburne and Rachel Brosnahan. The Amateur is directed by James Hawes and written by Ken Nolan and Gary Spinelli and is based on the novel by Robert Little. Heller, played by Rami Malek, works for the CIA on the bottom floor of the Pentagon as a cryptographer. He is a desk-bound analyst who specializes in decoding encrypted messages. His wife, played by Rachel Brosnahan, is due to go on a business trip to London and she invites Heller to go on said trip, but he doesn't, as he's currently involved accessing some files from an outside contact/spy that would expose one of the directors of the CIA, Director Moore, in illegal drone strikes in Pakistan and Syria. Heller's wife goes on the business trip and is unfortunately killed in a hostage situation by mass terrorists. Heller is oblivious to all of this and goes to work the next morning, and the dodgy Director Moore, is waiting in his office. Oh no, he's going to be found out for having all those files. But he isn't. Instead, Moore takes Heller up 10 floors in the elevator to tell him that his wife is dead and shows the evidence via news and social media footage. Heller wants to know what is going to be done about all of this, and Director Moore and his assistant Caleb try to convince him that it's all in hand and that they will deal with it. Heller isn't happy, and over the next 24 hours accesses all the CCTV, digital face recognition, aligns this with voice recognition from the social media, and presents his findings to Director Moore. Think like the best PowerPoint presentation you've ever seen. Director Moore, though, unfortunately, again fobs off Heller. But Heller has had enough, and a day later he prints all the incriminating evidence of the Syria and Pakistan drone strikes and marches into Moore's office and says that they're going to need to train him up to be a killer CIA agent and give him passports and cash like a spy toolkit so that he can avenge his wife's murder, or he will go to the press and release all the incriminating, dodgy documents of these drone strikes. Director Moore laughs at the suggestion, but goes along with Heller's idea as he instructs Henderson, played by Lawrence Fishburne, to train up Heller as this CIA secret agent. So now we have a cat and mouse game with the corrupt CIA officers trying to gather evidence of Heller's illegal printing activities and to also find Heller's microfiles of all the incriminating evidence so that they don't get found out by the newly appointed head of the CIA. But before they find any of this evidence, Heller manages to evade his new handler and escapes to London. And we will stop there. It's a clever premise, and we are set up quite nicely, wondering how a man like Heller, who isn't a James Bond or a Jason Bourne, can now tackle a task of killing all the people responsible for murdering his own wife. Well, with science and maths, of course, and trying to outsmart people in the process. And the film does try and keep this up as the plot progresses. You can see the writers battling with this premise as the film reaches its climax. Malek's character does develop enough, but there isn't a major transformation from the nerdy, slightly autistic, socially awkward character to a cold-hearted assassin. The film also keeps this premise at the forefront with its use of Fishburne's character and a supporting role that was played superbly by Katrina Balfe. I really liked the pace of this film. It's predictable in that you understand the path that we will take, but there are enough surprises in here that were not given away in the trailers to certainly keep you on your toes. Of course, part of the film makes you question the stupidity of the CIA and the villains involved. But we have watched enough Bond films in our lifetime to go along and enjoy the ride. However, If you are after a serious spy film, then The Amateur isn't that film. The recently released Black Bag or Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy or the very underrated Page 8 are the films for you instead. The Amateur takes you through various European cities, just like the Bourne films, but unlike those films where Jason Bourne is using all those years of training, Heller is surviving by relying on his own natural intelligence and sheer luck. The film could have easily had the chance to drift at the midway point, but Katrina Balf's performance really held things together. She keeps the story firmly on track. I think the film does lend itself for a franchise, or a sequel at least, as there did seem to be unanswered nagging questions that I had whilst watching the movie, and indeed some new questions at the end. I would recommend this film. It's a movie that I believe will get a lot of traction and the casual moviegoer will want to watch over the next few weeks or so. I won't mind watching this film again, but it does fall short to be in the same category as the Jason Bourne films due to the bumbling of the CIA agents, and also due to the fact that the villains don't seem to be too bothered that there is a man walking around Europe trying to kill them all. The Amateur. Tense, satisfying, and stylish. Thank you for listening to Movie Shorts. Goodbye.